Thank you. I've got similar questions on Burma and Sudan today, although they're very different countries. Can we get a little bit more detail on your meeting yesterday with Burmese officials? And what steps is the administration thinking about to bring this country back into the international order, into the fold? And then on Sudan, similar question. What are the next steps? Could they be sanctions? Could they be talks? And how is the U.S. going to make sure that that Gulf states don't prop up the new leaders in Sudan, the military leaders, and so on and so forth? So what's next for both countries, basically?
So I'll start with Sudan and then go to Burma. On Sudan, actually, we've been in close contact with regional leaders, including in the Gulf, to make sure that we're closely coordinating and sending a clear message to the military in Sudan that they should first and foremost cease any violence against innocent civilians, that they should release those who have been detained, and they should get back on a democratic path. We will continue to do that. We'll stay closely coordinated and aligned with all of the stakeholders who we believe have influence in Khartoum. Second, we have made clear that we are deeply alarmed. Secretary Blinken put out a very strong statement yesterday by the actions taken 36 hours ago by the Sudanese security forces, including the arrest of multiple civilian officials and the detention of Prime Minister Hamdok. We believe it undermines the country's transition to democratic civilian rule, and we firmly reject the assertions that this is within the authority of the military leadership in Sudan. From our perspective, these actions are utterly unacceptable. They contravene the constitutional declaration, but more importantly, they contravene the aspiration of the Sudanese people. In terms of the tools you ask about, we've already made clear that we are pressing pause on significant aspects of our economic assistance to Sudan, and we will look at the full range of economic tools available to us in coordination and consultation with regional actors and other key countries to make sure that we are trying to push the entire Sudanese political process back in a positive direction after this significant and alarming setback. Briefly on Burma, I did have the opportunity to engage very senior officials in the NUG and had the opportunity to express to them our gratitude for their courage and commitment to seeking to restore the democratic path in Burma as well. And we discussed humanitarian aid and the difficult circumstances the Burmese people find themselves in. We discussed broader diplomacy with the key countries in the region and those with influence on the military junta, and how the United States could send strong messages to those countries as well. And in fact, just this morning, President Biden has participated in the U.S.-ASEAN summit, and ASEAN has taken the step of denying a seat at that summit to the junta leader, the commander-in-chief. And President Biden had the opportunity to consult and coordinate with ASEAN in terms of how to move their five-point consensus forward. So we will continue to stay focused on our steadfast support for the people of Burma, for a democratic path in Burma, and for the protection of the safety, security, and human rights of the citizens of that country. Yeah.